President Zelensky, can you comment on Eric Adams, Vice President?
Of course she ran out. She doesn't know what to say. Why? Because she doesn't even know what she would even be talking about. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the channel Model Renaissance Man. I am Ty Smith. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to view my content. Make sure you follow me on all the platforms you see above and below. If you want a clip or something you want me to see guaranteed, go to patreon.com/Model Renaissance Man, and that's how you can find out how to do it there, all right? Make sure you hit this like button so that my content can consistently be recommended to you and that you won't be seeing some of the other stuff you don't want to see when it comes to reaction videos, yada yada peanut butter. You will only get these commentary videos if you give a thumbs up to this video, all right? Last but not least, double check and make sure that you still are subscribed to the channel if you've been following me for a while. Okay, got to talk about this because Zelensky also met with Kamala Harris, and we don't know, people weren't even that really interested in what they were meeting for. I guess it's all just for optics, whatever. But what's interesting is what happened after it was all said and done. She ran away. Okay, thanks everybody. She didn't say that, but you know the handlers, how they are. They're doing exactly to her as planned, according to how they did with President Biden. We all knew, and we were saying that President Biden had a mental issue, and that's why they were making him run away, right? Right? But watch this, and I'll give you my final thought on this.
And after Zelensky and VP Harris spoke to the press, Harris quickly bolted out of the room, ignoring reporters.
Thanks to you, Madam Vice President. Slava Ukraine.
Thank you. President Zelensky, can you comment on Eric Adams, Vice President?
Joe Contras, a Fox News contributor, joins us now. Joe, based upon the optics, that does not look very presidential to me.
I got two bets right now, all right? Carly's son, Brock, a year and a half, will be the starting quarterback at Princeton. No question. I know he's only 1.5.
Oh, not
but
tight
he's got a
end.
name. He's got a name like Brock. You become a quarterback.
Tight end.
He'll date a girl named Scarlett, and things will go very well.
Okay.
My second bet, Kamala Harris will never, ever hold a press conference or take questions from somebody she doesn't know is a staunch supporter of hers. You'll see the Giants in the playoffs, Todd, before you see Kamala Harris give a press conference, because we saw in that interview on MSNBC, that foot massage of an interview, she's asked, how are you going to bring down costs? Well, I grew up in a middle-class family. Okay, I think we know that part by now. But, oh, by the way, I understand the ambitions and aspirations and dreams of the American people. What will you do to bring down costs? Well, I'm going to give you $25,000 if you want to buy a new home. Okay, what if I have a home? What if I, don't plan on buying a home? In other words, she doesn't have a plan. So when she's asked questions outside of her controlled environments, it never goes well. The more she speaks, the more her poll numbers come down. She wants to run out the clock with 39 days to go before Election Day.
New York Post op-ed out yesterday. Check out this imagery. It was thin-skinned Harris proves she can't go toe-to-toe with world leaders if she won't even sit for a challenging interview. And what about that? I mean, imagine her sitting down with Xi Jinping or in the Situation Room making these really difficult decisions when she has very little foreign policy experience and won't even take tough questions from reporters here in her own country.
That's the big question, right? Can she sit down with a world leader like Xi Jinping, like Putin, like anybody who basically isn't giving her the questions, or at least her handlers aren't controlling the environment? Once again, the New York Times is also very critical of her as well, and that will get the White House's attention because they haven't endorsed a presidential candidate on the Republican side since 1956. Questions like, what did you know about Joe Biden's mental decline, and when did you know it? You want to tax unrealized capital gains. Most people think that that will actually tank the stock market. You can't do that. Why do you think you can do something like that? You were chanting down, down with deportations. It's on tape in 2018 as a senator. Do you want to end all deportations? Hey, what does fracking mean? Oh, hey, what does holistic mean? You could ask questions of her, and if she isn't scripted for the answer, again, it's cleanup on all five.
Well, there is some hope that the blue wall of the media has broken. You mentioned the New York Times piece, ripping the VP over her recent MSNBC interview. interview, her entire media strategy, writing, since Ms. Harris began granting more interviews in recent days, her media strategy has been to sit with friendly inquisitors who are not inclined to ask terribly thorny questions or press her when her responses are evasive. This is notable because this is the liberal New York Times. So, Joe, is the jig up? Is this the beginning of the left-wing media finally calling her out en masse, enough to sway the voters that are getting their news from them and aren't just getting it from us here at Fox?
That's exactly right. So when they read this in the New York Times, for example, or they hear on CNN, where we're finally seeing some fact checks of what Kamala Harris is saying, and even on MSNBC, Stephanie Ruhle said she didn't answer the questions. That begins to penetrate, and she's going to have to answer questions at some point, because there's a thing called the fear of the unknown. With Donald Trump, we know what we have. We saw his presidency. We know exactly what he's going to do on the economy, for example, on crime, on foreign policy. With Kamala Harris, we don't know. When you don't know, you can't vote for what you don't know.
Yeah,
so she has to define herself.
And my favorite
probably.
response during the Stephanie Ruhle interview was when she was asked how she's going to raise the corporate tax rate without companies going to other countries. She's like, oh, I talk to CEOs. They think that they should be paying more taxes.
That's not
Maybe those CEOs. I don't think that's true.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, when I said we knew that the press was pulling President Biden away because we knew that he has a mental decline going on, that they were trying to cover up, that we all got to see and the whole world got to see when he debated Trump. Now, he has a legitimate excuse because he has pre-dementia, or he has dementia. He has some shape, form, or fashion of dementia. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. As a medical professional, sticking to that. Anyway, and I also work with people like this, and I'm oversee and I direct over facilities that have these individuals like that with Biden in it. So yeah. Anyway, he has an excuse. They were trying to handle him and move him out the way because they didn't want anybody to see what was going on with him cognitively, with his brain. In case y'all, some people are like, what is cognitively? What was going on with him mentally? Okay. Kamala Harris, they're doing the same thing. And we know she is avoiding the press because she would not know what she's talking about. So, yeah, we all know that, hey, okay, Zelensky is fighting against Russia. Russia is a bigger country, and Zelensky and Ukrainians need our help. They need our help. And with this war, we know that there's a fight, okay? And in this fight makes people war. And we have to make sure that while warring, that Zelensky and the Ukrainians are able to fight. She wouldn't know what to say. Not something that's going to make and be coherent to make sense to any of us. That's why they hear, okay, thank you. Thank you. She just this way. That's it. Now, like they said in here, can you imagine her trying to negotiate or something like that and talk with Putin or Xi Jinping or even the Korean guy? Can you imagine her trying to sit down and talk with them? They would take her and look at her as a joke. I'm telling you right now, it will be a complete joke. You know it's something when Putin is hoping and praying that Kamala Harris wins. He hopes she wins because he know he's going to be able to mop the floor with her. Plain and simple. You never know. You can say all you want to, all this bullcrap about, for one, Kamala's not black. If y'all, because a black woman ain't going to do nothing. She ain't going to do nothing. Plain and simple, she's not going to do nothing. She doesn't even know what she's doing to be able to do anything. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think by putting in the comments below after this video. If you want to see the next video that I'm doing in chronological order right after this one, it's going to be that one up there. Other things that I do on this channel that you may not know about, it'll be down there. I am Ty Smith, model Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.